Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren.
And this is Dee.
And today we are bringing you Unknown Number, a High School Catfish, which is one of the top movies right now out on Netflix. It is a documentary that covers the implications of kids with cell phones and stranger danger. Anyway, Dee has not seen this. I've seen it. I got a text a week ago from Liz. She said, if you watch this, let me know. I'm speechless. I'm texting her throughout the whole thing. She's like, just keep watching. Just keep watching. So I wanted us to see Dee's live reaction to this. She has not watched it. I said, do not watch it. Do not look up anything about it. And it's good. It's getting hard to keep her in a bubble because so much is coming out about it. So yeah, High School Catfish. Dee's going to give her live reaction. And if there's something I want to add, having seen this, we're going to have her unplug our earphones and you'll get the person who's seen it's take if there's anything that, no spoilers for Dee. All right, let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
So the very first thing that we see, a chyron on the screen appears. It says text messages in this film are real. So keep that in mind as we watch. This takes place in Beal City, Michigan. We have Lauryn with a Y, like Lauryn Hill, Lauren Licari, and Owen. They're a high school couple. We meet Sophie, Macy, some of the players in this. And they say that this is a small town. There's nothing to do except make TikTok videos, play on social media, and gossip. And that's pretty much what the parents do as well.
Sounds like where I grew up.
I lived in a town like this before too, and I'm just really glad I don't live there anymore.
I miss it sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody knew everybody. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing. But
yeah, everybody knew that we were Catholic because we went to Catholic school, and it was the Deep South, and people did not like Catholics.
Aww.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was definitely an interesting few years. Anyway, so Beal City, Michigan, they don't have anything going on. They just got to do those TikTok dances and jiggle, make it wiggle. I mean, I don't know. I wonder if they shop a lot on Amazon. If I'm on my phone, I would be like super bored.
I mean, if they're teenagers, I would think they really didn't have the money to shop on Amazon, but
the adults too. It's the adults
well,
too.
True. I see what you're saying.
So what are we going to be doing in Beal City, Michigan? TikToking, gossiping. You know it's going to be good. You know there's going to be some drama brewing because everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
How well do they know everybody? So even if you're in a small town, what could make you more bored than COVID? This all started in October 2020 when Chloe, who is one of Owen's best friends, had a COVID party for Halloween, which she did every year. Dee and I did not do anything during COVID. I'm type 1 diabetic, so I was super high risk. I was just like locked down.
You were sending me booze. Remember you sent me booze?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You had me trying all different kinds of wine and liquor.
Well, we were trying to find a wine that would be good for you. So that, you drank during COVID because I ended up pregnant.
It was sangria. I was on a sangria kick. So you were sending me like all these different kinds of pre-made sangrias.
By the time October came around, I was not drinking anymore. But Lauryn wasn't invited to the party. And this is a small school. So this Beal City High School, it goes from preschool through 12th grade. That's like my son's prep school is PK2 through 12th grade. And I think there's 3 grades in each grade, which that's pretty small. I went to a smaller school. I went to a couple of Catholic schools that were smaller than that.
Well, I thought it was a little bit of a red flag. Well, I thought it was a little bit of a red flag that she wasn't invited, especially if this is supposed to be like one of his best friends. You would think both of them would have been invited. So that kind of sticks out to me that she wasn't invited to this Halloween party.
And Owen says that Lauryn didn't like the girls in her grade. She just wanted it to be her and Owen. Like them or not, though, it's not like she had the chance to reject the invitation. His friend is just not inviting her.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
It was strange. And especially when they're saying nobody really hates each other. We'll see. But Lauryn and Owen, they met when they were 12 years old. They were in the 7th grade, and they had been together ever since. The kids in the class called them the golden couple. And Owen's mom, Jill, thought maybe there was some jealousy in the grade. Just because they saw this. They wanted a boyfriend. Maybe not necessarily Owen, but they were just envious of the relationship that Owen and Lauryn had.
Makes sense to me as a parent. I would think the same thing.
But they were very close. The parents even were hanging out. They were like doing barbecues. So the families were really connected too. They did a lot of stuff together as the kids dated, which is great. I mean, you want to get along with boyfriend's family, her girlfriend's family. Kendra and Sean are Lauryn, or Lo is a nickname, Lauryn's parents, and Jill and Dave are Owen's parents. And they were growing concerned. What stands out to you about these text messages?
The content. They're extremely vulgar for somebody who's supposed to be that age group.
Yeah.
So I found that kind of odd. The other thing is it seems to all be an attack on Lauryn, not Owen. Everything is about, he's going to leave you, or criticizing things about her. Making comments like they knew her nickname was Lo, and she said that only her friends, close friends and family used that. Knowing what she was wearing on that day, so she felt like it was somebody who could see her or was around her or something. Just some really odd stuff.
Unless it's Miss Cleo, like psychically channeling what Lo is wearing. That's a logical conclusion.
Yeah. So I mean, that kind of would be kind of scary, that this person, this person is, it's almost stalkerish.
13.
Yeah. It's very stalkerish. I don't know why they called this catfish, because I didn't think catfish was like this. I thought catfish was like you falling in love with someone that you'd never seen, and then you find out that they're not who you think that they are, or something like that.
Well, I guess we'll have to keep watching. But one thing that did remind me of the show Catfish is that Lauryn said when she would get a text, she would try to call back and the person wouldn't answer. They would text her back immediately, which that's one of the things. If you watch Catfish, Neve and Max, they're like, get on FaceTime with them. They can disguise their voice. They can hide behind text messages. I mean, this person was attacking her looks, saying she had a flat ass, she was anorexic, saying that she was a sweet girl, but she wasn't giving her boyfriend what he needed. And they were very explicit in these text messages. The other thing that kind of stood out was the first text message said, sorry, not sorry, which that saying is from a while ago.
True. That's one that my kids used to use when they were in high school. Sorry, not sorry.
So that stood out to me. So the parents, what do you think of the way that they're dealing with it up to this point?
I can tell you I would have dealt with it completely different. My daughter would have had a new phone number, a new phone. Only people that we knew would get the number, and I would have been trying to track down who was texting her based on who I gave the phone number to, the new number.
Exactly what I was thinking when I watched this for the first time. There would be no question.
Yeah, done. This is stopping today. We're going to the Verizon or wherever. We're getting a new phone, and we're getting a new phone number. And I'm sorry, but there's only going to be a few people that have your phone number.
Now, I do think it was good that Kendra said, Lauryn's mom, to keep being you, you're beautiful, just encouraging her not to let this person get her down, like be confident in who you are, just keep being yourself.
But that's so hard at 13. That's so hard at 13.
It's hard.
It's hard now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good advice, but
in reality, that's not necessarily the way things are. I mean, it's hard for adults. I can't imagine telling a 13-year-old to try and do that.
But now they're going to go to the school, and they expect that the school is going to step in. Like you said, though, they can step in. They can literally take these phones right out of their kids' hands. I grew up without a phone. You grew up without a phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Yep. I'd be going and buying a little burner that, okay, when you need me, call this number. Otherwise, that's it.
I'll go get them a walkie-talkie.
Start sending some smoke signals and pigeons or something.
Is that what they did back in your day?
No, I was just being sarcastic.
He's like, they delivered my handwritten letters by horse. U.S. Postal Service. Because the parents had an inclination that whatever was happening on school grounds, things were being brought up that were said in class. They went to the school. Jill, Owen's mom, said that the school is responsible for the kids while they're on campus. And Kendra said, I don't think that the school handled things well. But you're the parent that gave them the phone. The school's not responsible for them having a phone.
I don't know how the school could do much.
I feel like these parents are passing the buck.
Yeah, I think I would have avoided the school. I actually probably would have went to the police.
Good point. So we meet Dan, Principal Dan, and he is shocked by the vitriol in these messages, by the detail. It was enough to make a 53-year-old man blush. Things like tits in his face, make him horny, make him cream. Ugh, I mean, this is a 13-year-old.
Supposed to be a 13-year-old that's sending it, or you're assuming it's a 13-year-old that's sending it, but
We're talking about a 13-year-old.
I know, that's what I was saying. Not only are we just talking about a 13-year-old receiving them, your mind is thinking that it's probably someone in their age group, which it would be around 13, like
somebody that maybe is being harmed themselves.
Something.
Because how would you say that thing without experience? So maybe it's somebody that's being assaulted themselves, or that could be a theory. Now, the girls in Lauren's class, aren't they so sweet and precious? They had their own little theory that maybe Lauren was doing this to herself to get attention. Because Lauren was a quiet girl. She really didn't talk. She liked sports. Maybe she, just wanted attention. All she did was talk about things that weren't really important to her, like sports, which, okay, no, that is important to her. That's why she was talking about it. And she was probably not talking to y'all because y'all seem like bitches. They would sit there and say things in class just to see if it would get into the text message. And it was only the things that were said around Lauren that would make their way in. So they started suspecting that it would be Lauren. Like, what do you think about the kids getting involved in this investigation? The kids in the school getting involved, and Lauryn and Owen getting involved from the beginning. What do you think about this community involvement?
Well, I definitely can understand why they're trying to get to the bottom of it themselves before they involve the parents and still continue to try and find out who it is. I mean, that seems just natural to me.
Parents are the ones that brought it to the school's attention, and what motivation do these girls have to get to the bottom of it?
Well, there's nothing else to do in school, so it's a mystery for them. And, and they probably grew up on look at all of these Disney shows where these teen kids and junior high kids are out there solving adult mysteries, for crying out loud.
Gosh darn, Inspector Gadget up in here.
Mm-hmm.
One of my concerns is how much information about this is out, because when you want to protect an investigation, you don't want everybody to know the details of the investigation. You want to leave things and hold things back. There's things that maybe only the suspect could confirm. I mean, it's like this Manuel Arrow case, the 7-month-old boy that is missing. The police have arrested the parents on murder. Right now, we're not hearing a lot about the case, and I have been following it. I do want to follow this coverage, but I haven't said anything on podcast yet because it's all speculation, which is good. That means that the police are doing their job and keeping the information that they have close to the vest. But there's nothing to report about speculation. That would not be responsible journalism for me to do that. And as an attorney, I'm like, okay, like, great, hearsay. Let's what the proof is. But that's my concern here, is these girls not only know that she's getting texts from an unknown number, they also know the content of what's coming through. They know that their conversations are or are not going into those texts.
And the rumors are spreading quickly around school about the text messages.
So I think that is making the investigation, that's going to make it so much more difficult. Like you said, if they went to the police about this first, I mean, it's a small town. It still might have gotten out, but hopefully we would have had better investigating. Now, also, Lauryn is a quiet person. It doesn't really seem like she wants anything to do with these people. Why would someone who's quiet and doesn't want to talk to you want your attention? Kind of sounds like she doesn't want your attention. She wants you to just screw off.
Yeah, she's not really talking about it. Didn't seem to me like she was talking to these girls about it. I don't know.
She doesn't seem like the attention seeking type. I'm the attention seeking type. I'm not a quiet person. But that's not Lauryn.
That's you, Lauryn, not that Lauryn.
Lauryn. That's Lauryn with an E, not Lauryn with a Y. Although that Y, I think that was to get attention, but we'll just blame her parents for that.
I mean, yeah, she didn't have anything to do with that unless she changed it somewhere.
Now, Principal Dan, this reminds me of Forrest Gump. The Dan guy in the wheelchair, what did they call him?
I don't know. I'm not a big Tom Hanks fan. I can't remember.
Principal Dan ruled out Lauryn and Owen pretty quickly. Just based on their responses, they seem very honest. Police officers shouldn't be doing criminal investigations. I mean, should be. Police officers should be doing criminal investigations. The parents have handed this off to a school principal. Like, where's the accountability? Why not go to the police? Why expect the school, based on your theory of where this is happening, to take care of the fact that you have given your kid a cell phone and you're not doing anything about it? Like, make it stop. Make this unknown person stop. Take away the cell phone. It's just ridiculous. I know the channel surfers are probably screaming at us at Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan. I kind of want to call the principal Lieutenant Dan now. Principal Dan. So whenever Lauryn would get a text message, she would let Principal Dan know. And he went and got a bunch of cameras and put them all around the school. I mean, hopefully not like in the bathrooms. I'm guessing that somebody could text from the bathroom, but he put them all around the school, and then he was comparing notes from the time of the text message to see who would have sent it. Jill and Kendra were at the school and Miss Daly asking for updates, talking to each other about it, comparing notes because they were there for practices. So they're involved. But then Jill is like, why doesn't the school do a no cell phone policy? Why don't you do the no cell phone policy, honey?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Why are you guys having the school spend all this money to buy cameras when you could just take the phone away?
Well, and he said a lot of, it's 2020, 2022, 2021, 22, something like that at this point. And, a lot of the students are, using their cell phones for educational purposes. He points out that he uses his like a desk.
Yeah, but he's not a student. He uses his phone for emails, and the kids don't need it. I mean, we don't even need the phone.
Well, I'm saying as far as why he's not going to impose some kind of cell phone policy at the school.
So people can Google the answers to their test. I mean, I don't know how this works. This is all since I've been in school, but from what I have heard, they would lock up phones during tests. Channel surfers, let us know. Is that how this works? I mean, educational tool? You mean the AI assistant just, tells you what the answer is? I hope not. AI is it does not get things right.
No, it's not very accurate.
Not at all. I don't
know. He suggested to the parents for them to change the phone numbers.
And what did you think of Jill's answer that they were afraid that they would never find out, and they were worried about allowing the person into their home? They were sure it was someone close to them that they knew, so she wasn't going to give up the phone.
I understood her reasoning, but for me, the emotional health of my child would have come first.
Yes. To me, if you are not taking away the phone, you are allowing that person into your home.
Mm-hmm.
You are putting that person in your child's pocket. That's not okay. I almost wonder if these people are so bored that they like the drama.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility.
They don't go to the police. They don't get rid of the phones. They're like, haha, let's see what the school will do.
It makes them the center of attention, really. If the whole community is starting to learn that this is going on, it puts these two families at the center of attention just about everywhere they go.
That's interesting. So the parents are attention seeking.
Well, yeah, in relation to what's going on with the kids.
And the friends are thinking that somebody who's doing this might be Lauryn because she's seeking attention.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem like the parents are attention seeking.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, they're doing things that keeps it going, not just nipping it.
They're making it worse. You go to the police.
So if they go to a ball game and other parents, hey, so-and-so's, said that this is going on at school. How are things going? Every time they go out, the more the rumors go around about what's going on with these two kids, then every time they go out, the adults in the community are talking to these parents, coming up to them, asking them what's going on. How are they doing? I'm sure that's what you would do.
There's so many obvious answers and solutions here, and it's like they're trying not to do those.
Mm-hmm.
So the video cameras turn out to be a bust because they don't know if the kid is uploading something to Snapchat, texting. You don't know. Everybody's on their phone. You don't know what they're doing. So, of course, it's a dead end. Why not go and look at the IP addresses? This is what the police would do.
Yeah, my husband had somebody that was harassing him using the mail, and they were getting the stuff online, and I gave the police the IP address. Took them 30 days. They caught him.
It's like they did all of this and then realized, oh, never mind this solution. This won't be a solution. This won't work. We're not investigators. And they're like, it's 700 kids. It could be anyone. I doubt it's the ones in preschool, kindergarten, first grade.
Sure.
You could probably rule out half of those kids at least. Now, they suggested that they block the number, and they're like, oh, you can't block an unknown number. There are apps for that.
Yeah, I think they were saying that, I think this was the part where they were saying that they thought the person was using some kind of app that generated the calls coming from different numbers every time.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you can get some sort of service where you only get calls from known numbers.
I don't know. I don't know that much.
They're like, we want to find out who this person is. Okay, fine. So then you take your kid's phone, you give them a new phone. You don't tell anybody that they have a new phone. You let them know at the end of the day what's being said, or,
not.
You don't leave the grenade in the kid's hand. Now, this started getting to Lauryn. She stopped trusting Owen. She didn't know if he was in the hotel room with this person on a Thursday. I mean, she probably could find somebody to verify the alibi, but obviously this is a lot, and they just want it to stop. So Owen dumps her over FaceTime. That's like the Sex and the City Post-it note. I'm sorry, I can't. Don't hate me, Jack Berger.
It took me so long to get used to kids breaking up with each other in text messages. Or my favorite was, we're taking a break. Okay, so you broke up. No, we're taking a break. No, taking a break is broken up.
No, it is. If they're not all in, you should.
Yeah,
That's what people think. They're like, oh, I've got this situationship. You don't have anything if you have a situationship. What you have is somebody that can turn around and say, we were never official. If they wanted to be official, they would be official. So, ladies and gentlemen, learn from the old people. Anyway, what do you think about the parents' reaction to the breakup?
I mean, I think it was probably pretty normal. I think they probably saw it coming. I mean, most adults couldn't handle the situation that those 13-year-olds were going through.
No, absolutely not.
I was surprised to hear, though, that the messages actually got worse after the kids broke up.
Right. So the messages are now telling Lauryn to self-harm because Owen would be better off without her. That is sick.
I'm just so confused. I'm like, if the goal was to break them up and they're broke up, why would these continue to be sent to her and just escalate in viciousness?
And she didn't have problems with anybody. as things escalate, the texter starts saying, if you're not going to hurt yourself, we will do it. And that's when they go to the police, which is how long after the text messages started?
15 months. What parent would let this shit go on for 15 months?
Now, to be fair, there was a year break between the first and the second, but still 5 months. 5 months? Even assuming a year break in there, the principal is sitting there. I'm worried about the kid's mental health with this barrage of text messages. I'm speechless. See, I'm speechless. Just like Liz was speechless. And you said, I can't imagine how Liz would be speechless. You probably couldn't imagine how I would be speechless.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're speechless.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, this is extremely emotional, I'm sure, for this girl and her family and the boy and his family.
But not emotional. How take their damn phones away.
Exactly. But what I was also thinking, too, is the person on the other end, like, they're extremely screwed up.
Unhinged.
Yes.
When the principal was like, you worry about self-harm, I'm worried about this person being a psychopath and harming them. And they're threatening that.
Yeah, there's something seriously wrong with this person and the text messages that they're sending. And if it's a 13-year-old, that's very scary. If it's an adult, it's very scary.
This is very scary. I would leave town.
I would have probably put my kid on a bus to the closest relative in a few states away until it was over with.
I mean, so
new
far,
phone, new life.
I think that these parents are passing the buck. And this is not something I would pass the buck with. I
don't know what to think about the parents, honestly, at this point. I mean, I just know for myself with my kids what I would have done. And so I'm confused with.
To be fair, like we do criminal defense. We have seen some crazy stuff as an attorney and a paralegal. So maybe we're just more sensitive to those things. We're having the same reaction though. Like, don't rely on Principal Dan to solve this problem. So 17 months into this, the police start looking into Sophie. Sophie's parents were close friends with Owen's parents. They grew up together. Sophie's mom actually... Chloe.
I was wondering.
17 months into this, the police start looking at Sophie, Chloe, and Macy. Mainly Chloe, but her group. Sophie's mom looks through her phone. Nothing suspicious. She did that at Jill's request. Jill asked the basketball coach, can we let the parents know what's going on and have them look through their kids' phones? The coach is like, all right, well, we'll run it through the school. And Principal Damon and the superintendent, they're like, heck no, you need to stay out of the investigation. Well, thanks. 17 months into it. Took 15 months before anybody stayed out of this investigation. Part of investigations is having credible, reliable evidence. You have to have people that can lay the foundation and testify and are doing investigative techniques that are fair and, I mean, not always necessarily fair. Police can lie to you, but unbiased. Well, not even that. I don't even know how to say this, but you don't want them suggesting something to somebody, because then that would ruin a confession. Then you could sit there and say, well, this person, it was suggested to them that this is what was said in the text, and that's why they confessed to it. Now, Chloe, when she went to Florida, a text message pops up from the unknown number with a Florida area code within an hour of them crossing over the border. So Chloe's dad said, let's just get your phone dumped. The investigator says, I need to be careful, make sure that I don't get tunnel vision. And Owen is saying nobody's going to point to themselves. So what are you thinking at this point?
Well, when the text messages started coming through, insinuating things like saying, I got my phone dumped yesterday. They didn't find anything. And, that's when I was like, yeah, somebody's trying to frame this girl, because you're not going to implicate yourself.
The Florida part had me hung up. And I started wondering, could it be one of Sophie's parents? Maybe
Chloe's parents.
Chloe, yeah.
Yeah.
Could it be one of Chloe's parents? Because they were close friends with
Mm-hmm.
Owen's parents, and Lauren's parents may have kind of phased them out. But the texts were from Florida. Was it like a cell tower ping, or was it a whole Florida phone number?
Well, I wonder if that, like, the app that's getting used to generate the phone numbers, I mean, I would think it would be random, so it could have been any state, so it could have just been a coincidence. Or if there was other kids that went to Florida, they said it was spring break, so there could have been other people in that town that went somewhere in Florida.
But it wouldn't make sense that it would pick the same phone number for the place that you were.
Right.
And it wouldn't make sense that you'd be sending pictures of yourself. Tunnel vision is where an investigator is just like, okay, this seems so obvious. This seems so obvious. And they stop investigating other leads, and they try to make the facts fit into their theory instead of letting the facts tell them what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And defense attorneys tear that stuff up. Tear it up. So a picture from Family Christmas at Owens comes through, and police say, is anybody in Owen's class in your family? And he has his cousin, Adriana, who doesn't have the best relationship with Chloe and her gang. Chloe thinks maybe she doesn't like me because she thought I was just being rude to her. And Sophie says that Adriana made up a rumor that they bullied her and threw carrots at her. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think they did throw carrots.
I would say that I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, that's an odd rumor to make up. I think I would probably believe that you did that.
Maybe she thought we were being mean to her, rude to her. Maybe you were.
Yeah. If you're going to make up a story about somebody bullying you, I don't think you're going to land on throwing carrots at you.
And earlier they said that Chloe was accused of bullying. I wonder if this was what had come from Adriana. Adriana seems quiet, kind of keeps to herself. She's kind of on the outside. And her mom makes a Facebook post, you know, when the police start investigating and everything. And it just, other parents jump on in. Mm-hmm. Man, this town, they're like, drama, let's go. I don't know if it was Sophie's parents or Chloe's parents. They were like, yeah, Adriana's mom was on a victim journey. It sounds like your kids are kind of assholes to hers. I don't know.
Yeah. It sounded like her daughter had talked to her about the bullying. She made the Facebook post, and yeah, and you see it so much with bullying. When you try to talk to the parents, they just downplay it like it wasn't no big deal.
But why would you text message that you were going to make your cousin horny and cream? I mean, this is a small town. I don't know, but...
Well, I think they're implying that she is trying to set Chloe up.
They are.
Yeah.
But can you imagine for 17 months sending sexual text about your cousin to set somebody up?
I can't really imagine anybody in this age group doing that for that long. I can't even imagine them saying some of the things that are being said are very adult language terms that get used, and some of them are not very current terms, like what kids in nowadays would reference.
I did see hashtags at one point in the text, and I was like, aren't those kind of outdated? But I wouldn't even want to have to like think up sexual things to say about my cousin to get back at somebody. It ain't that serious. I think Adriana seems very truthful.
Yeah, I don't see her doing it. If she's been bullied by these girls, she just wants to be left alone. I can't see her going after her like this.
I must feel like these girls are using this as a chance to get back at her for calling out their bullying in the first place. They're like, oh, let's just like bully her again. Jill said there's no way that her niece, Adriana, was involved in this. And Adriana then starts getting text messages from the unknown caller as well. The same horrible, threatening, you know, you hate them too messages. No, she was scared. She's even crying during the interview. The edit may have edited that part in. Maybe she was crying about something else, but she did look pretty traumatized by the whole experience, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Scared. She looks scared.
But tensions are really rising. Kendra's parents are fighting. Kendra's mom is saying that Sean wasn't made or Lauren's mom said that Lauren's dad wasn't made a priority. Lauren's dad is saying that Lauren's mom said she could handle this and she's not. Owen is getting angry. They're starting to see his anger come out, like on the basketball court, like his struggles inside are turning out physical. And at one point he meets a girl from Peconi, which is a little while away, met her while he was off at a sporting event out of town. And then text messages, same nature, unknown caller, start going to this girl's mother.
How does that even happen?
Now we know that Owen has a stalker.
Well, I mean, I've always felt that it was someone who was interested in him when they went after Lauryn. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, they still dislike Lauryn, or maybe they don't believe that him and her being broke up is for reals. I don't know. But this is just, like, I don't know how you would find out the number of somebody's mother.
The FBI does a dump on Owen's phone. They can't make any connections from that. And then they start trying to track where this phone came from. And they find that it's linked to a service called Pinger, which hides, it's meant to disguise where the phone comes from. And they found 2 IP addresses where this phone was pinging from. So we're cracking it down. What theories do you have at this point?
I still don't think it's a kid. I really believe that it's an adult. And usually in shows like this, I try to break things down by who we're not hearing from. Mm-hmm. But we're hearing from, like, all of the parents. So I'm really, like, kind of stumped on who it could be. I feel like it's an adult, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one that maybe knows technology if they know to use Pinger and pay for that service.
I have never heard of any of those things.
But it's like, which adult? I mean, again, the only theory I had at this point was Chloe's parents.
Well, I had kind of thought in the beginning maybe Owen's mom, but she's talking in all of this and doing the interviews and stuff, and I'm assuming whoever did this is probably in jail.
And she finally took the phone away.
Yeah.
Finally. We see her crying at the officers.
She looked awful. Like, you could tell she was stressed completely out from this.
And he says, have we taken the phone away and changed the number? I mean, what, we're like 17, 18 months into this, and finally she has.
Well, she took the phone, but she didn't change the number.
Well, she didn't even get him a replacement phone.
Mm-mm.
But she did finally take it away because he was talking about suicide. She let it get to that point first. It's like, everybody else hold it this way up. But finally, she took it away.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is, you know, because I'm thinking it's an adult. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem to be any of the parents because we're talking to most of these parents in these interviews. So that probably leaves maybe a teacher or a coach or somebody like that.
That's a good theory. Another good theory. Police go to Jill. They're like, send everybody that could be a suspect. She's given them all Owen's friends' phone numbers. Doesn't match. Then the police are like, could it be adults? So she's like, here, just take the phone. Just take all the numbers we have. They crack the case. The FBI is on it. They crack the case. And Dee, what was your reaction when they said it's Kendra Lauryn's mom?
I was like, fuck. I did not see that at all.
It's a lot to process.
It is. I just can't imagine a mother doing something like that to her own daughter.
We're going to take a little break. I have to go get Jake from school. We will be back, but I'll give you a little time to process that.
Wow.
Are you speechless?
I'm speechless. Well, probably not. I probably have a lot to say, but no, I just can't. It just doesn't, can't wrap my brain around it. None.
That beaver looking woman. It doesn't make sense. That Quasimodo. I'm going to have to send you some of the memes I've been seeing.
Yeah, I just, that any mother would put their child through that is just, she's sick. There's something wrong with her.
Agreed.
I really expected this person to be in jail, like not doing these interviews, because that's typically how it is. The person that's not showing up in person in the interviews is usually the person that it ends up being.
Yeah, but when you watch Dateline, they'll put them in a nice shirt and the jail is behind them.
Well, some places I don't think they're allowed to video it. Like, I watched one about Susan Smith the other day, and they're not allowed to video her in South Carolina. She's not allowed to have people come to the jail and do video and things like that with her. So, yeah, I don't know. Just, yeah.
Remember, the dad and the mom were fighting, and he said it was because she said she could handle it, and she wasn't.
Well, and just like, one of the things that had been going through my mind is just the sheer amount of time that it would take to be messaging people that many times a day. Like, who's got that kind of time?
And we'll get into that in part 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've got friends that, you know, I text them, I don't hear back for a week. For shit's sakes, you know, so I can't imagine somebody. Yeah, I can't imagine Liz sitting and sending 50 messages in one day to somebody.
No,
you know, I mean, you can't even go. Yeah, you can't even hear from her. Well, hell, I sent her one 2 or 3 weeks ago saying, "Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing?" Crickets. I still haven't seen anything back.
To the second half, we're halfway through the documentary. It gets into all of this. But she would know
her mental
what
illness.
Wearing.
Huh?
She would know what Lauren's wearing. The
she would know a lot.
Conversations that happened around Lauren were probably conversations she had with her mom who trusted her. But then you think about the nature of these text messages. These were real texts telling her to off herself, making fun of her, breaking her up with her boyfriend that was the golden couple. And then harassing the boyfriend's new girlfriend. It's
how, though? I'm still boggled with how she gets some of this information.
Like what?
Like the new girlfriend of Owen's mother's phone number.
Well, she's friends with Jill.
But Jill said she didn't even know the number of the girl's mom.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I think they explore that in part 2. But
okay. Well, you've seen it. I haven't. So
the FBI got involved in month 15, and I think we're seeing here it's like month 18 that's solved. They solved it in 3 months.
Wow.
But maybe we know why they didn't go to police.
Yeah.
Because,
well, Jill is the one that's been doing most of the talking to the police and stuff, not Lauren's parents.
And Lauren's mom, if they had gone to the police first,
yeah,
she would have been caught faster. Took them 3 months. Once they came in, 3 months.
Yep. Wow. That's also explain. She kind of popped in my head when the whole thing with Chloe and the score of 12 and her being the one that kept the stats.
She popped in my head when I watched this too a few times. But I kept saying, someone's mom wouldn't do this to them. I could not wrap my head around that. And that's the thing about crime and true crime. You see this stuff and you can't wrap your head around like how someone could murder somebody. There's just like no justification.
Right.
It's really a different thought process than we could even comprehend. We'll take that little break. We were going to take it a minute ago, but I thought we'd leave Dee with something good before I scuttle off to get my stuff.
It was good, all right. Completely out of left field.
We're speechless. So we just took a little break. I went to pick up my kid, took him out for Friday ice cream with some of his classmates, grabbed some McDonald's on the way home because I knew we would be busy. And here we are. We are back. Dee finished the episode, and now we are going to talk about the second half of this episode. So the first half, Dee watched before we recorded together. I wanted to see the suspense, just kind of watch it unfold until we got to the surprise in the middle. And now I think the suspense is gone, and now we just want to talk shit. So, Kendra. The fuck?
I know, that poor kid. I feel so bad for her daughter.
Bad for Lauren. Like, first of all, you put a Y in her name, and then you nicknamed her Low, which is a nickname from the Hills. The Lauren went by Low on the Hills. So Mama, I think, is definitely my age. One of the children of the 80s and 90s. Talking to Mike.
Hello. How are you doing today?
And what did you want to show the channel surfers? This is the Annabelle doll Furby that scared the crap out of me the other day. Yeah, there's no off button on it. My dog went down the stairs. I hear this weird noise. It was doing something not like this. I mean, it was like screaming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Teddy fell down the stairs.
Have you asked Jake if he knows how to turn it off?
Oh, no, we asked his friend Izzy, who left it here. It doesn't have an off button.
That's so weird.
All right, Jake.
Okay, so Furby's right on top of my head.
What do you want to say to the channel surfers?
Channel surfers, this is Furby Ruby say, hello, how you doing?
All right. So Jake is watching Netflix on my phone now, on the kids' Netflix. Rob wasn't feeling well, but when I got back, he was not in the house. I think he went for a walk. But all right, we're back. Which weird part of this story we are talking about when the cops came. So the cops come to arrest Kendra. And she denies it. Deny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. What do you mean? No, it's not me. Do you have any other devices? A computer outside? Okay, so like if you tell them it's outside, do you think they're not going to go freaking get it? No.
It really wasn't until they started asking her why. Like, why did you do this? Why did you send this? And that's when she kind of started giving excuses for why she did it.
Well, also, she didn't disclose that second phone. It wasn't until Sean got home and disclosed that second phone. Like, she might have thought she could still get away with it.
Yeah.
She was trying to keep that game going. And the question of the day is why? I think that's what everybody who watches this is thinking. I mean, I'm also thinking how. Like, how could a parent do that to their child?
Right. It blows your mind. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And the reasons that she gave didn't make any sense. Like, she started out by saying, that she was just doing it, trying to get the kids to tell her who they thought it might be.
Let's start with that. I'm doing it because I thought maybe I could get the kids to tell me something to disclose who was doing this. Make it make sense. If the kids knew who was doing this, wouldn't they tell you? Like, you think the kids that are victims in this are hiding from you who's doing it after 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Or a year and a half? They don't know. 1, and 2, you just talk to them. I think that was taken from Jill. I think she was taking a page out of Owen's mom, Jill's book, because Jill pretended to be Owen and texted Kendra to try to get a confession. And she probably sat there and thought, oh, well, she catfished Chloe. Not Kendra. She catfished Chloe. So if Kendra is doing the same thing and just like catfishing people to figure it out, maybe I'll just say it wasn't me at first, but I was just doing what Jill was doing. That's where I think she got that BS, which no proof it came from any number other than hers.
All of them. Because at first she tried to say she didn't do the first one, that she, picked it up from there, but they said no, everything came from her number.
And when she said that, I had a theory. I was like, well, maybe Lauryn sent the first ones to herself in October and Thanksgiving, and then she continued it. But Lauryn, I think, was just in shock. We were speechless, and this isn't our mom.
Yeah, she looked like she was in shock. Dad looked like he was in shock. Lauryn...
We were in shock.
Yeah, and as the officer is telling Lauryn what they've discovered, Kendra's over there, and she's hugging her, and she's holding hands with her, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on here?
It was very, very strange behavior. Now, if we're asking why, an answer we might have a context clue. If you look on their kitchen table, it is lined from side to side. There's not a place to put anything down because it is lined with wine bottles and liquor bottles. Handles of liquor, unopened bottles of wine, open bottles of wine. I think there's some alcohol problems in this family.
There might be. That's a good possibility. I mean, I don't really think that we got an exact reason. There were several things thrown around.
That could be a contributing factor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still wouldn't do that to my kid if I was drunk, but she was up at 3 o'clock in the morning texting these kids.
Well, you would have to be. I mean, to send 30 to 50 texts a day. This is like an all day thing. This is a day and night thing.
Energy for that.
It became an obsession, I think, with her. She was saying, that she could leave the real world. She could wear a mask. She stepped out of her life. She became somebody else. And I think it was just like an obsession or an addiction with her.
Do you think she became somebody else, or do you think she always had this propensity and she had untreated issues.
She definitely has untreated issues. I mean, nobody can deny that. I mean, I think it was the FBI, they were speculating a form of Münchausen's.
So with the Münchausen, you liked that theory, the mental Münchausen.
I had started thinking about it, yes. But then, as it goes on and Jill started talking, I was like, well, that makes sense too. There was a lot of things that made sense.
So the mental Münchausen, what they were saying is that she was making her daughter mentally ill and basically creating this cyberbully scheme. It's not even mental, but just creating this thing to get attention. And she kept going with it. Like, you created an illness to get attention. This was putting them on the news. It had the attention of the school, the attention of the police department. And it's a small town. That's one of the things we were saying. Like, these parents just take away the phone if you don't want the attention. And eventually Jill does. I think Jill kind of liked the attention at first, too. The culpability is way different than creating the problem. Now, Kendra, fuck her. But why wouldn't you have taken the phone away at first? Like, I feel like they both liked the attention. But Dee, we talked about this. Once we hear Jill's side, it makes that Münchausen theory, at least to me, problematic.
Yeah, because Jill started talking about the attention that Owen was getting from Kendra and how weird she thought that it was. And she suspected that she had an obsession with Owen and said that she would go to
games after the kids broke up.
Yeah. And then you hear Owen talking, and he's talking about, like, the attention that he would get from her when he was around her. She had cut his steak for him.
What? Like, I cut my kids, who's 4, I cut his steak. I don't do that for my husband because he's a grown man. He can cut his own steak. Like, Dylan, when your kid was in middle school, high school, were you cutting their steak for them?
No, they could cut their own steak at that point in their life.
Once they can do it, you just let them do it.
Yeah.
As long as it's safe. I mean, I guess cutting a steak could be dangerous, but the kid was in freaking high school.
Yeah. So that kind of made some sense, too, because everything was directed in those text messages as this person wanted Owen, and they didn't want him with anybody else. Why would she go ahead and text the new girlfriend's mom if it had to do with her daughter?
To keep him from moving on?
Yeah, so that tells me.
Break up. She was even telling her, don't believe what this person is saying. Don't blame Owen for this. Okay, well, just stop freaking texting her.
Yeah.
And Lauryn didn't break up with Owen. Owen had enough and broke up with Lauryn.
Right.
And at one point, I was thinking maybe Lauryn sent the text messages at first, and then the mom continued it. And maybe that was the person that she was trying to protect, her daughter. Like, if Lauryn had started the text messages and the father's there and the police are asking and she's saying someone else started it, maybe that's how you link them all up. But that Lauryn was freaked out. Lauryn, they ruled her out based on how she was acting. I don't think mom took the fall for Lauryn. Mom is in denial. Mom isn't even wanting to take accountability necessarily for what she's done. She's trying to make excuses like, oh, this is how it started out. Oh, I didn't do it the whole time. But they all link back to her.
Yeah. It's her phone number and her phone number only that it goes back to. So.
And my guess is, I mean, the FBI knows this started in October. My guess is that they linked that IP address. I'm so sorry. Give me a minute.
I guess they wanted some.
All right, channel surfers. Sorry about that. It is Friday afternoon. The kid is home from school. The husband is MIA. And he's over here trying to get Doritos and leaving the bag open beside me. The dogs are eating them. But finally, I just told him, you just leave the room for a little bit. I will be out soon. I've got the door wide open. He'll be fine. I think he's going to get his Nintendo.
It's anyway, the case of the Dorito snatchers.
Yeah, Lola and Teddy were both eating out of that bag. All right, so I don't think Lauryn had anything to do with this because if the FBI went and traced it all back, which they did, and they said there was no evidence that anybody else sent it, my guess is that she started from the beginning using that call blocker. That was probably from the first call. I think this was premeditated. She's an IT. She didn't think she was going to get caught. That's why they didn't go to the police at first. But
this is just nuts.
Her saying that the whole excuse about like, oh, well, I was just trying to figure things out for my kids. Just talk to your kids because you're texting your kids. You're not texting somebody that you think is the suspect like Jill did, not excusing Jill's behavior, but I feel like that's what she's grasping onto. Just the way that she talks about things in the beginning, I feel like she believes this narrative that somebody else started it when she's saying the school didn't do enough. It's like, if I say the school didn't do enough, then that excuses me texting the kids to try to figure out what they knew instead of asking them, because you think your kids are hiding the secret on who's sending these dirty texts that sound like they're coming from a middle-aged woman or a middle-aged guy. I mean, I don't know. She has a dirty mouth. And the husband doesn't recognize this. She's never dirty texted him, and he's not going, this sounds awful like Kendra.
The husband, I think a lot of stuff went over his head. I mean, this woman had lost 2 jobs in a year, and he didn't even know about it.
Unbelievable. They got evicted from their house because she wasn't paying the rent. She lied to him for close to 2 years about having a job. She didn't have it. They get evicted. They lose all of their things that go into the pawn shop because she's not paying the pawn fees, and that gets taken. At what point does he sit there and say, you know what, honey, let me handle the finances and snatch that bank statement and start figuring out where the money is going? Because it wasn't before they got evicted, and it wasn't after they lost all their stuff after the eviction. He didn't look at the bank statement. He was just like, oh, yeah, just keep mismanaging the money. It really takes, I think, a certain group of people around you for you to even get away with this. A spouse that won't question anything you do.
Oblivious.
A friend that wants attention and isn't going to do anything to stop you.
Oh, it all just blows my mind.
I know. And you're like, how would Liz be speechless?
Yeah.
That's exactly how. Now, I wonder, I don't think it's the Münchausen by proxy. Because like we said, she continued this obsession with Owen. Jill's theory is that she was obsessed with Owen. I would lean more towards that.
It makes a lot more sense.
She went after his next girlfriend's mom, which, how did she find the phone number? Well, she's in the tech world. She knows how to deep dive. She probably hacked their computer. Just have your social security number and your password. FYI, change it all. Go into witness protection. No. Speechless. And the text messages were so sexually explicit. Now, she does tell us that she was raped. So she is the victim of rape, and it was at a young age. It was 17. And it might have been statutory rape depending on the state. Like in South Carolina, the age of consent is 16, so it wouldn't be. But I would imagine something traumatic at a young age would leave a lasting impact. That does not excuse you if you become a predator yourself. You unfortunately have to be responsible for your mental health. Even though something completely out of your control landed you in that situation. It's just like physical health. When I was 10 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. I didn't do anything to get it. My mom was like an almond mom. We used to have carrot sticks and raisins for snacks and like apples with peanut butter. And I would always have snack envy. I'd go over to my parents' house, or not my parents, my friends' houses. I'm like, oh my gosh, fruit snacks, chips. So Rob, my husband, raised the same way. His parents went and buy the sugar cereals. He went over to the neighbors all the time and asked for cereal and cookies, and they gave him a dog treat. He ate it. Yeah. So before I had diabetes, I was like my snack game sucks. And then after I had diabetes, I had to eat 6 meals a day. So my snack game got on point. I was getting like Lance peanut butter and cheese crackers and Juicy Juice boxes. And all my friends had snack envy because I got to eat during class. Anyway, how did I get here? Diabetes, not my fault. but I still have to deal with it every day. I still have to pay an insane amount for insulin and diabetic supplies, and I have to be insured. I don't really have an option. I'll die without it. So, I mean, when I go to the pharmacy and they're like, do you know how much you just spent? And there's 4 numbers on that ticket without a period, 6 if you can. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a choice. So sometimes life hands you stuff. I mean, you know this too. Sometimes life hands you things that you just have to deal with. But that doesn't mean you have permission to turn into a shitty person. You just have to do what it takes. And you have to be responsible for taking care of yourself.
Right.
Which as a child, when she was 17, maybe she didn't get shown how to care for herself after that situation. I think it would be incredibly hard and incredibly traumatic. But and it's sad. It's very sad, but it doesn't excuse that. And you hear statistics that say child predators were victimized themselves as children. The Menendez brothers, they killed their parents. They went to jail, but there's mitigating evidence. There is a factor that it doesn't justify it, but it makes you think, if she was victimized at a young age, I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, not a therapist. I wonder if her brain got stuck there with that being one of her perhaps first sexual experiences. And maybe that's why she was fixating on somebody younger. It is disgusting. I don't know. This is the thing about this show. I try to make everything logical, and I think we just have to settle with sometimes there is no logical explanation for crime and victimizing people, especially your own kid.
Yeah, it just makes me feel really bad for her daughter, and you know,
she still wants a relationship with her mom.
That's what's confusing to me. I mean, I get that it's her mom, but she also has this extreme connection to her mom, wanting to, you know, stay close to her, talk to her. She doesn't trust her.
Well, that's where the Münchausen came in, like you were saying. You think that the mom was maybe doing this to pull the daughter in closer, and she was super involved in Lauren's life. She was her basketball coach, her scorekeeper. She was at the school every day. The principal said she was always involved. That also puts her closer to the investigation, meaning that she's got her finger on the pulse. She knows where they're leading. She knows where they're catching on and what to do to change courses, which is why you keep investigations private. This is why when you hear family members complaining, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard for a victim, but this is why you hear when family members are complaining that they're not getting any updates from the police. They have to protect that investigation. Mm-hmm. They are looking out for the victim. The family of the victim is victimized in a way as well. But what if it's a situation like this where it's a family member who's been getting updates every day on the investigation? It just furthers that victimization, put other people at risk.
Yeah, so she goes ahead and she pleads guilty to 2 counts of stalking, one for Owen and one for Lauren. And everybody gets to speak. You hear Owen speak, you hear Jill speak. The families who have been affected, the kids who have been affected, you know, all of them, it's been, you know, a tragic experience for them.
Throughout
yeah.
Big part of this small community.
Right. So she gets 19 months. I don't think she spends 19 months. No. I think she's out on a little under 12.
Sentences usually you serve like 85%. Sometimes it's lower, just depending on which court it is, but it's usually at like 85% of the sentence.
Yeah. And when she gets out, she's not allowed to have contact with any of the victims, including Lauren.
So yeah, that's a no contact order, not to contact the victims of her crime, which is to protect the victims from their accuser continuing to reach out to them. Lauren should be 18. She should be 18 now because she was 13 in 2020. So it's not like an age thing. It's not that she can't have contact with her until she's an adult. Even as an adult, this court order would prohibit contact because Lauren is the victim of Kendra's crime. I'm not sure when that no contact order will lift. What we do know is that she has a 5-year sentence that's suspended on probation or on parole. She's out on parole right now. She was released about a year ago in August of 2024, and she'll be on parole until the summer of 2026, which means that she'll need to check in with a parole officer, pay fees, do drug tests. We hear from her cousin who said she was like the life of the party. No shit, Sherlock. Look at her dining room table. She's like the drunk person passed out at the bar of the party at this point. Her husband, Sean, left her. Lauryn is close with her dad. She says she wants a relationship with her mom when her time is right. But I think that might be why Lauryn is connected to her, is because she was showing this like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, this face of just being a really awesome mom, super involved in my kid's life. You know, don't let this person get you down. Don't believe what they're saying about you. Believe your boyfriend. I think they were just blindsided. And you got to wonder, were there any, if Sean goes back and looks, were there any indications that would make him go, If there were, he was probably turning a blind eye to it. Like I said, he didn't even look at that bank statement after they lost their house and then lost all their stuff in the storage unit. He didn't even know she lost her job until the police got there.
Right. It had been like a year before that. She'd been a year without a job and he didn't even know it.
It seems like she was starved for attention and had a very unhealthy way of getting it. Like a sick, twisted, demented way.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter what excuse she comes up with. The stuff that she texted to her daughter was just appalling and vulgar and disgusting. And
everybody saw that this could be harmful to her daughter. Like, not only hurting herself, but hurting her self-esteem. Like, she ruined her daughter's life. She
affected a lot of people's lives. Many of those kids. I mean, they were just kids. You know, you got Chloe, who's getting blamed for it. You've got Owen. You know, every relationship he has, you know, the people are getting these text messages, or at least the one relationship afterwards.
And it's interesting because he says at the beginning of the show, I didn't think the phone would lead to this. It wasn't the phone. It was your girlfriend's mom.
Yeah, it's sad. It's just sad all around.
Which probably traumatizes you a little bit in the dating world.
Absolutely.
This is what happened when I was 13. I would be terrified to date.
Absolutely.
Adriana, who had carrots thrown at her, and then the girl's trying to blame it on her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, you know, I think I will continue to try to rationalize this. That's how my brain is until I forget about it. My brain will keep tossing it over, trying to make sense of it. At some point, I've just got to say it's not going to make sense to us. I sound like the prosecutor in the Coburger case. Kind of. Because he was like, I didn't ask him where anything was or how anything happened because he's a liar and it's not going to make sense to a normal person. I mean, still ask, but at least, yeah, we want to know the motive. You don't have to prove motive, but you're always like, why?
We always want to know why. You know, we just need to face the facts. These people are mentally unstable or have something wrong with them.
There's definitely some addiction problems. I have seen addiction. I have come across people who text me who have addiction problems. I mean, just even in our line of work. And I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be texting that to your attorney. So I think that plays a role in this. And I think her trauma from her childhood, she needs help. Everybody kept saying she needs help. I surely hope she gets it. I wonder if there's any classes or anything that are a condition of her parole. That's not often. It's usually just like the drug testing, meeting with your parole officer, paying the fees. But I don't know. How does the family move forward from this? How does this relationship heal? I don't know that Lauryn ever gets her mom back.
Well, she certainly isn't going to be able to trust her. I wouldn't let her in my life, honestly, but that's just me.
I mean,
she seems to want a relationship with her mom and want it to work and misses her and it's heartbreaking.
It's so messed up, but it's your mom.
I know. And
what if your actual mom was the one doing it?
Yeah, but our mom.
Which I laugh because your mom is like a sweet old lady, but
yeah, but at the same time, like I'm thinking, my mom would never have done that. It's kind of like
your brain around.
It's kind of like, you know, when you have a friend who's lost like a child or something like that, and you want to help that person, but your brain won't let you put yourself in their shoes to really like. You can't feel it. You can't imagine it because your brain won't let you go there.
I can imagine it. But this, I can't. Like, I could imagine how painful it would be, although I don't have vivid imagination.
Well, that's what I was saying.
I don't see it. I don't see anything. Like, but I can imagine how painful it will be. But I mean, not as painful as it is for that person.
Right.
But I can at least fathom that. This is something I cannot fathom. What Kendra Lakari did, I cannot fathom. What she did to Lauryn and Owen.
Well, it's two parts. It's because we have amazing mothers. And we are mothers ourselves. So we have our children. We know how we feel about our children. So you just can't wrap your brain around it. Like
she was putting her kid in harm's way, and she was completely blind to it. Whatever was so screwed up within her was completely blind to it. And you know what? There are all kinds of memes and stuff just making fun of her, saying she looks like Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I didn't see an ugly side until I found out it was her, and that was like, oh man, I did not want to see any good in her once we found out. Like ugly shows on the outside. Ugly shows on the outside. And it's just crazy. Like the switch in my brain where I was like, whoa, didn't even notice. Because you're sitting there, you're just like, she's like crumbling. I don't know. It was interesting. It's something I'm sure that I will think about. I haven't stopped thinking about it in a week. I hope you can stop thinking about it. I did it to you. Liz did it to us.
I'll probably just watch some Big Bang and I'll be fine. I'm sorry. Remember, I'm the one that's dead inside. So.
With that, we're going out with a bang. Channel Surfers, we hope you have an amazing weekend. We hope you enjoy this little special drop that we've got. Let's go ahead and announce this. We're going to announce it Sunday, but we will be covering 90 Day Fiancé the other way. This will be Bee's first foray into actual 90 Day Fiancé. Bee's first ever was Hunt for Love, which is a brand new series, but this is more what the real stuff is. It's actually my friends Rebecca and Joy. It's their favorite of the spinoffs. It's going to be good, and we are excited to cover it. So
I'm looking forward to it. I hope there's as much stuff going on
there is.
As Hunt for Love. Yeah,
total shit show. It's going to be amazing.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Amazing.
That's the stuff we like to make fun of.
The more amazing, the better. I mean, this one it's hard to make fun of. And that's one of the things when we cover the true crime, I can have a sense of humor about it, especially when we deal with it. Like, you get together with a private investigator for a case you're on, they will sit there, drink a beer, and crack you up because they have to deal with these horrible things that happen in life. And humor is a coping mechanism. It's just hard, though. Like, you've got to kind of get past the shock of it before you can be funny about it.
Yeah. There wasn't really anything to be funny about with
especially
this
when
one.
It's a child.
Especially
when it's a child. It's... I mean, I could do any kind of criminal case. I think murder. I've done attempted murder. I've done grand theft, auto, like so many different charges. I could not do child sex crimes. Absolutely not. Could not do it. I would not want to go through that discovery. I mean, and I think this is probably how a lot of people feel about criminal attorneys. It's like, oh, but you're defending that person, like defending our constitutional rights. But this one, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely a thought experiment. It's not the most fun thing ever, but we will be back on Sunday with a Big Brother concept. Me and Mama C, and she told me some hot goss, and I'm going to save it for Sunday. But whoa, like if that's true, we're going to try to verify. Whoa.
Yes, juicy stuff.
So, all right, Channel Surfers, y'all have a good weekend.
Let's ride.
Tune in, don't delay.